Start. Throw your hip forward. Ready? Junzuki Dagamoi. Aish! So we're going to take our time. I'm going to give you time to think about what you're doing and to try and utilize it. Ready? Aish. The more you relax when you throw that ping pong ball. Yeah? Ready? Aish. Oi! Shrug the tension off after it. Ready? Aish. E muoti giù dalla ghiaccia. Yeah, man. Some of you are still trying to punch hard. Yeah? Right, so Kerry and myself are going to argue about this, but force is equal to... okay. Force is your punch. You generate force by accelerating, and your body weight. Body weight because mass is my body weight while I'm on Earth because of gravitation. Yeah? So if you are relaxed, you can travel faster. Yeah? When you see the sprinters in the Olympics, they don't go and down into the blocks and they're nice and relaxed, and they are, yeah? You go to a competition, yeah? All the teams are there just trying to relax so they can get in faster, yeah? So if you can, just try and relax as much as you can and find the movement. Find the movement, not... Yeah, so can you come around? Right, so the first thing we're going to look at is how. Everybody's got muscles. Where they contract and extend, that's how you actually move, all right? But the muscles are in a certain pattern within the body, all right? But they're called spiral lines. They actually spiral around your body, the muscles. They look as though they're just attached here and there, but they've actually got a curvature in them and go around the body and around the torso. So that's how you use your spiral lines of your muscles. So here, you're letting your spiral line, your muscles, work naturally. Yeah? So try and look at Junzuki in a slightly different way, that you are trying to utilize these muscles inside. Yep. Even if your hands are slightly open. Sensei Shimizu used to not fist really tight, because that creates tension here. And then it goes up here. And then all of a sudden, yeah, he used to say, put a boiled egg, he didn't literally say get a ball, but like a boiled egg inside your fist. Yeah, not clenched, but not totally relaxed, but here. So that if this is relaxed, all the muscles are relaxed. And you can accelerate a lot quicker. So we're going to go back again, just do Junzuki once more. But please, if you can, try and relax as though you don't care. Yeah? And find that freedom and find that twist. Find that torsion. Yep? That's the first basic step of what we're doing today. We're going to get a bit more complex with it. All right? But this is what you need. Yeah, when you start getting older, you can't. I couldn't train as hard as I used to, but there's no need to train hard. You have to train a bit clever. Yeah, so I can go on a winter course or a summer course, and I can train as long as you want, because I'm switching on and switching off, switching on and switching off. Yeah. So can we go back into lines again and then have another look at this? Hey, hey, oi, Junzuki Dagamai. Hey. So stretch, twist, and then just relax off. Ready? If this is the start of your Junzuki, and this is the journey through Junzuki, Where do you think in that point that the torsion starts?
The very beginning.
It is, but it's in a different area. I want to try and keep today a little bit more as complex as it is, especially with the high grades. All right. So it's really you step in, and once your back foot passes your front foot, that's where the torsion starts. Here. It's when your back foot crosses over to do it. So that's Junzuki. Going to now look at Gakuzuki. So can we go back into lines? I'm not trying to brainwash you. I'm just giving you an alternative. Now you can either take these things away with you and not use them. That's entirely up to you. Or you might think, I don't really need it yet, but the seed's there for later on in your training. Yeah? Don't have to use it. It's just what I've discovered. And really, the initial, for me to start looking at this was a few years ago when Katsutaka Otsuka came and was talking about internal, and I couldn't get my head around it. But as time went on, I couldn't refuse it, I couldn't ignore it. So I then started to, it's a journey, isn't it, karate? Yeah, what can you find? What don't you want? What can you do? So that was the initial seed. Okay, so, yoi, ready. Junzuki Dargamai. Can we just try something different? So when you do Sonobade, which means make your stance wider, all right, and punch with the reverse. Instead of going foot across and punching, that is just literally your leg going across and you trying to punch as quickly as possible. What I want you to try and do is do this. Can you just do that? Put your hands down at the moment. Just from your Junzuki stance, just relax and turn. Can you feel that? Again? Just let it drop. Okay, now at that point where it drops, that's the time you should be doing your Sonobade. And it moves basically because your hip can't move anymore. So then you have to release the anchor. Remember you're talking about that anchor, holding it? So it's dropping and letting the anchor go. Can you just try a few of those by yourself? You can use your arms or just your hip. Can you feel it lock? You drop your hip and it locks. Drop your hip, let it go. Drop your hip in and then let it go. Yeah? In, punch. And when you move your foot, try and keep it as close to the floor as possible. Kamishitai, rice paper thickness. Yeah? Drop, bend, let it pop. Yeah. Hip goes in. Okay, yeah, man. What's that got to do with our karate? It's Mozuki's actually started. So instead of slowing your punch down to how quickly you can do this, you've already started the punch. It's within the technique. It's not mudana, it's not an extra move and then punch. Drop, drop and punch. Okay? So, if we can drop the hip, it's not so obvious if I do it from here, because I'm not using my body. Yeah? But then I can release and punch. So instead of reaching and punching, yeah, I've done something a little bit down here. Yeah? And then I can punch. So just do it by doing son obeyed, instead of going, yeah, or as you're sparring, just try and let this drop. So I've created this bit of torsion. Now I've got this potential energy to then punch. Thank you. It's going to take a bit of hard convincing, this is, isn't it? All right, so what I want you to do is find a partner, yeah, and do about half a dozen each. We're trying to get this, instead of pushing and reaching, but just dropping. And when you get there, find out which one you've got to release. Release the anchor to let the punch start going earlier. Do you understand that? If you've got any issues with it, put your hand up and I'll have a closer look. Yeah, partner off and spread out.